What's going on, guys? Glad you guys could tune in today. I know yesterday we talked about how to reassemble the brake assemblies and the drums and how to pack the bearings with grease and how I usually, pack the drums with grease on the 7K and 8K axles. Well, today we're going to be following up that broadcast with actually how I go about wiring the brakes into the with the trailer to make them functional, and like what it takes for them to be functional on the system, like with the new trucks that have the integrated trailer brake controller. So what if you ever go to a trailer shop and when it comes to the brakes, I quit paying for trailer the services at like your local trailer shops because I got tired of fixing their shit after I paid them good money to fix my shit. And what a lot of them will end up doing is taking these little snap connectors, and it'll lay the two wires together like this, and it snaps over the top of them, and it's got like two little blades that will cut through the insulation to connect the wires together and complete the circuit. Well, what I found is that they don't always cut through the insulation, and it fucks up your circuit. So you're not getting a good connection, which affects the performance of your brake. Because at the end of the day, the electricity travels from the truck down through the wires, and it's got a magnet inside here. If you guys seen yesterday on the brake assembly, it's got a magnet on an arm, and when you push the brakes, the electricity charges that magnet, and it sticks to the inside of the drum. Hold on one second. Trying to get us a guest in here. He's being camera shy. But and when that magnet sticks against that drum and the drum spins, it'll pull that lever back and it'll expand the brake shoes. And if you use these snap connectors that don't get a good circuit, then your brakes, your brake magnet's not going to be fully energized like it's supposed to be, and you won't have the stopping power like you're meant to. So what I started doing for a long time was I used these little things right here, these crush connectors, and you see inside there, well, you may not be able to see it. There you can kind of see it. It's got like a little metal ring in there. You stick the wire in it and you crush it with a pair of pliers. As you can see, this end right here is crushed, and it connects the wires together. And then I went from those to using shrink wraps on the same principle. And the reason I like the shrink wraps or the heat shrinks is because instead of having these open ends like these little crush connectors, it's like a big like hood, like a flare. And when you stick it in there and you crunch it, you can heat that with the torch lighter, and it will close down over your wires. I believe, I got one right here. All right, let me move my laptop around here. All right, you can see it right here. You see how that shrinks down around the wire? That gives you a good watertight seal, and water won't get in there as easily and cause a short circuit on your. All right, hang on a second. But water won't get in there and short circuit your wires, and it won't cause you to have to come under here and replace stuff like this. And what I've started doing lately is using stuff like this. It's a blade connector, and it's got a male end and a female end. You stick them together, and see, I got them right here, but I got them taped up. But I got it taped up so that it won't, like the little blades won't slap together and spark, because they do that too much or hit the side of the trailer. There's a possibility that it will blow the fuse in your truck, and you really don't want that to happen. But all right, so what I like to do, I have a couple of brakes in the system. I got the brake between the front, the wire that comes from the front of the trailer. I got a brake right here, and from here I got the wire that goes to the back axle, and then I got the wires that come down to the front axle. And the reason I like to have the brake right here is that it allows me to really hone in on where we might have some connective issues. Like, for example, if I feel like the truck's not going to be sending power to the trailer, I can check right here. All right, so if that's good, then I move to the next connection. I'm like, all right, do we have power going to the back axle? Do we have power going to the front axle? And then from there, we have some connections right here where it breaks off and goes to each wheel on each end of the axle. And that allows me to do the same thing. Do I got power going to the driver's side wheel? Do I got power going to the passenger side wheel? And it allows me to really get in there and check that. And also, if you got the new, like the enhanced trailer brake controller for like the newer model stuff. Hang on 1 second. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know if the audio is working on this shit. Yeah, I can't. Right now it's Jesse talking on the phone.
Hey. He's in the bedroom. What is it? What is it? What do you want to tell him? What do you want to tell him?
What are we doing? Oh, my fucking mind.
What's up?
All right. Sorry, our little soldiers was needing some help.
Come here.
Yo, this thing's kind of laggy.
Hey, can you hear me?
It's a little bit laggy.
That's probably because of the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me? Slide over here. Can you hear me better now?
Yup. We have chili.
Shoot, oh. Well, we got Ghost. Is it Ghost Music or Ghost Sticks?
It's ghost music.
Ghost Music. Well, tell us about Ghost Music.
Yes.
I'm
And,
Yes.
a highly streamed, highly viewed country rapper.
All right. What have you found to be your biggest hurdles in starting a new business with that industry? Give us a lowdown.
Finding
you're the
people to work.
Like
Finding
as
people
far
to
as your
work
music and stuff
major-
goes.
Say what?
As far as your music and stuff goes.
Oh, music? Nah, music. The biggest hurdle is funding music. If you can fund, if you had $200,000 today, you could go platinum tomorrow. That's a little known industry secret.
All right, I shared the stream.
We screaming.
So what if is there a pretty big market for this in the area?
Yeah, for what I do.
Nice. Hell yeah. What about your other endeavors as far as entrepreneurship?
Well, you know, we model and decking company. The biggest hurdles in that shit would be like, finding workers and finding jobs that you're not getting undercut on.
It seems to be an ongoing issue with the trucking industry as well. People want to haul loads for free.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. People would do stuff for like pennies on the dollar just to say they did it. Don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, I figured there'd be a pretty big gap in that kind of stuff here lately. Seeing how like most of the guys from when we were younger, they're all dead or retired now.
Good thing, but a lot of those workers are still working.
Oh yeah, these people that built the this wheelchair ramp, that dude's old as the hills. How's the connection right here? Is it a little better?
Yeah, it's pretty good like that.
Did Autumn ever look into the Twitch stream?
She said something about it earlier a while ago. She said she ain't looked into it yet.
Dude, that was insanity what those guys were getting for
You think it's like some pervy shit?
Some what?
Some like pervy shit.
I don't think so. Twitch has a pretty if they're like YouTube, I think they got a pretty strict terms of service where they can't they're not supposed to show nudity and stuff. And the ones that I seen, like the one girl, she's just sitting there like wearing a devil cheerleader outfit, just like putting makeup on her arm to look like a bruise, and dude, she was getting like $400 or $500 donations. And then what was it? Another one was just looked like she was cutting up vegetables and shit for for supper, and she got like a $10,000 donation.
I wish tonight you made 10,000 vegetables though.
You ain't kidding. Jesus Christ.
I can't even do hard labor for 10 grand.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, fuck, I know, right? Dude, it's I don't understand it sometimes. I know, I know we have, like right now, we're on a down tick for like the last articles I wrote. All right, so freight volume is up, but prices are down, which makes
from the way my dad explained it to me is there's certain companies that are coming in that have like mainly foreign drivers, and the foreign drivers will take loads for like literally nothing, you know, and that's what's got y'all fucked up.
Yeah, see, here's one from DAT. Let's see. It looks like, let's see, this is van rate right here. All right, let me flip this bitch around and share my screen. Share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. Share. All right. Right here, it's like, here's a bar graph of like, all the way up through June. Like this right here's the price, and we're like right now this is dry van. We're at like $1.80 a mile, and then the gray is volume. So there's volume out the wazoo, but the actual price is down.
Which is ass backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. It doesn't look like it. Let's see. I thought it might have something on like flatbed, because that's really what affects me is the flatbed rates more than the dry van rates. And hell, just right now, dude, finding drivers that want to work is like, God, it's like pulling teeth.
Yup, finding anything.
I ordered got Dad to get on here and tell us about his endeavors with trying to find people to fucking work.
You think he could have worked it?
Do what?
Think he could have worked it?
I don't know. He has that problem too. They just, hell, they don't even tell him that they're not coming. They just, oh yeah, by the way, I have another guy wanting to come in. Hang on. Trying to get Lee Hill to come in here with us. He just looks like he just got home. What did I do with like I left my phone around back. At least we got a laptop. We're not tethered to one. Yeah, there it is. It's up under the trailer. Hang on. Crawl up here and get this done. All right, I'm back. Is he still running over the road? Hey, you still there?
Yep.
Is your dad still running over the road?
Yeah, man, that's all he does. He said a lot of the problem they're having is like My Way hired a bunch of new truckers when everything was moving real good, over the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And now I can't hardly fill the load for all the truckers. I think last week they had 74 truckers.
Damn, I have a buddy that works on the Amazon account with JB Hunt, and that seems to be working some big business right now.
Anything Amazon's gonna go.
But
If you're
Amazon.
If you're
Do
an
what?
investor, I would just dump all my money into Amazon.
Well, Amazon's trying to get to where they can haul their own freight. They're starting to invest in more trucks. But from what I've understood, the biggest problem with Amazon is they don't want to pay the drivers shit. And they,
Watch Amazon, just leading to that, they don't want to pay the driver shit. You watch Amazon go in with Tesla with those automatic driving trucks.
oh yeah,
In 2019, by 2025, it'll be a thing.
oh driverless trucks is definitely going to be a thing because, dude, there's trucks, there's freight, but finding good drivers to drive them is But back to what I was saying. Yeah, well, there's many. There's truck like CR England filed bankruptcy this past year or earlier this year, and like their letter was like, we got more trucks than we got drivers. We can't keep the drivers in the trucks. And even the driverless trucks, it's somewhere in the chain they've got to have a driver to do like meticulous maneuvers with the truck. But you could you got them puppies going.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to be there to like back the trucks up to the docks and do stuff like that.
I'm telling you, by 2025, 2030, you're not gonna have drivers for real.
They'd have to
got the money to invest in those trucks anyway. Not all companies.
Oh yeah, you're definitely right. The super carrier or mega carriers definitely have the money to invest in those kinds of trucks. But like they would have to like greatly improve the cell phone networks right now, like out west, because there's still places that's got just shitty cell phone service. Like
That's what they're doing with 5G, right?
Well, so far I've only had 5G in like major cities, like big cities like St. Louis.
Yeah.
And like Utah, like I was going through Utah and I was roaming the entire time, like the entire state of Utah. And what is it? Wyoming don't even have AT&T. Like you can't get AT&T service at anywhere in that state except like around the edges.
That's garbage.
Yeah, it's 3G everywhere else. You talk about miserable as fuck. Can't watch any Netflix, none. No Hulu. Can't even make phone calls. You got enough cell phone service to tell you what time it is.
I worked in South Dakota for a while, and they had better fucking service than that.
They got some kind of off-brand cell phone service. It's got a picture of a moose on the billboards. I don't know what brand it is, but it's a picture of a moose.
It's Canuck.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Even Montana has better cell phone service than that, and they have like 500 people in their entire state.
Yeah, more county people.
No, that's exactly right. That one county I got that ticket in, it was like 1.5 times bigger than like our county, and it had 690 people living in it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? It was like 45,000 square miles. Colbert and Franklin are both like 30,000 square miles. And then they had.
We'll talk about Alabama's the cousin fuckers. That's probably the real cousin fuckers over in them states.
Dude, like, no shit. The sheriff would know every person in the county.
And everything you did.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, because there's nothing else to do there. Like I looked at the biggest city in that county on the map, and it looked like a fishing village in Alaska. Oh, so how long have you been in the puppy breeding industry?
I think industry. I think we've been breeding dogs for about 3 years.
What's the high points and the of that?
The high points is producing fire ass dogs. Like when you produce something that you know is better than everybody else's. The low points is when you lose a litter over something stupid. You start losing dogs over something stupid. Maybe somebody walked in your house and had something on their feet, and then boom, you lose 5 dogs. And when your dogs are, anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a piece, it don't take long for that to add up.
Yeah. What happened? What ended up happening last year with all the bad dog food and shit?
It was just bad dog food. They were getting vitamin E poisoning, which was like shutting down their livers and their kidneys.
And it wasn't just what do you guys use, Purina, don't or something like that?
No, at that point we were using 4Health, and then we switched back to raw feed, which is better, but they don't ever put no weight on them. We right now we've been feeding Diamond, and it's been doing pretty good. It's just a high protein, high fat dog food.
Did they ever get sued or anything like that over the dog food killing all those puppies? Because it wasn't just you guys, from what I understood, it was like you guys were saying that. Yeah,
it was like the Southeast were losing puppies like crazy, losing dogs in general like crazy. It just hit puppies harder because their organs weren't as developed, so it was easier for it to kill them.
Yeah. Did anybody ever get sued over that?
Yeah, there's a class action lawsuit on it, but like, as many people as lost dogs, we could get in on it. The millionth 400th person or whatever, 1,400,001th person. So our settlement wouldn't be anywhere close to what we lost. It would just be a waste of time. You're talking about we lost $12,000. They're not, they would never get that back.
God dang, that's fucking. That's terrible. That sounds about like me when I leased on to when I contracted with this local carrier up here in on the hill. I lost so much money over that deal. We won't name no names. The company that shall not be spoken of.
You can't. Man, I figured it out the hard way. You just can't do business with everybody.
Well, like I was dealing with them in another company, and it turns out the jury's still not out on the other company. But I thought, hey, they're right here in the backyard. They've been established for, about 2 or 3 more years than I was. They can't be that bad. No, you gotta.
A lot of companies just fake it. They're just faking it.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Fake it until you make it. But
yeah,
they wasn't really making it though.
I mean, they're probably making it pretty good, but they're, you're not making it good working with them.
That's true. That's one thing, dude, I found out in this industry is like you have to really, really, really vet people that you're working with and interacting with in this industry, because like it just seems like everybody's wanting to fuck the carriers. Yeah. Like everybody, even like heaven forbid you break down on the road somewhere and you got to get a repair. Like we got charged like $800 for a transmission service up in where was it? It was Wyoming.
Yup.
Dude,
that's the same like with music. You gotta really kind of do your research on who you fuck with, because some promoters are just, they'll tax people that don't know any better, meaning they'll charge them to come open a show for somebody that you think is gonna have a pretty good turnout, and then you show up and it'll be like 5 fucking people there. And some of these promoters tax these guys like $350 for a 10-15 minute set, and then you show up thinking you're going to do a show for 300 or 400 people, and it's like 10 people.
Yeah, that reminds me, because I remember you telling me one time that sometimes especially if you're newer in that industry, you got to pay the promoters to let you play.
Yep.
And like, how does the band actually turn any, like, how do they turn profit when they got to pay like a fee to actually perform?
A lot of artists that are just starting out, they're just doing for quote unquote exposure. So a lot of them are willing to pay. And if you're not in with the good, you're not in good with the promoter, he don't fuck with you, or your music's not doing anything, then he's gonna tax you every time. You still there?
Yeah. So,
but
yeah. Keep going with your story.
I mean, you can make money like selling merch and stuff, but when you're brand new into it, like a lot of these guys are, they think, oh, I'll go out here and that's another mistake they make, is they'll load up on 100 t-shirts and take to their first show. Well, then you're out money for that 100 t-shirts, and you're out money for that slot you paid for just to perform for 5, 10, 15 people or whatever it is. So I've seen people, I know personally of people that have sunk $300 or $400 into a weekend and just lost it.
Jesus, that sucks. So were you ever thinking about planning events, or are you just going to kind of stick with just performing?
What do you mean?
Like trying to organize your own shows?
I thought about it, but I mean, I know promoters that would do that shit, for a little bit of the door money or whatever. So it's really not worth my time or energy to put it all together, because it's a lot of work to put something together like that. And even though I may have good streamings and good views, that's not necessarily gonna account for ticket sales. I know artists right now that got 1 million streams that are like and they can't sell out a venue in Birmingham. Just because you're popular on the mean that you'll be able to sell a show.
Right, I got you.
We may like at the height of social connection via social media, but we're at like the low of social connection, actual person-to-person contact.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's about how I feel with it's about how I am with the freight. Got a couple of brokers that we got to where we work with pretty consistently, but so far I haven't really worked with a whole lot of like direct customers yet, because like we just don't have the depth, in our first string lineup to service anybody directly right now.
It just takes time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to do is jet out the middleman. Just go straight to customer. Anytime you make a drop off, you just need to leave a card. Privateer Solutions.
There you go. If we were still under our own authority, yeah, maybe next year we'll plan for that. Budget that into the operations.
That's the thing too, like you and I are both pretty young when we started businesses. I don't think either one of us really had a full understanding of the planning we should have had and the things we should have known before we started. We were just like, fuck it, this is what we're gonna do.
No, you're exactly right.
It may have fucked us a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Like I've told people that myself. Like I got sold the idea of having this truck is like, shit, what is it called? Passive income.
Yeah.
Bring the truck down here to this company, lease it on. They'll be responsible for getting the drivers, blah, blah, blah. And, it went good for about 4 weeks. And, then the truck broke down and we bought a new truck because it seemed like a good investment. We were turning some money. And then the company that we released onto out of Haleville just went like, dude, and it's happened to every company that I've been involved with. They just, I don't know if they see dollar signs or what, they get greedy and want to lease on like fucking shitloads of trucks overnight, and they can't support because they don't have enough freight connections. They can't load them all. So then I was like, you know what? I can do a better job than that. And I just started my own company, my own. And I didn't really fully understand like all that was required to run a trucking company. So I kind of trusted people that were older and more seasoned to, help me out and advise me. And it turns out they were all a bunch of fucking con artists and didn't know what they were talking about.
Going back to passive income, have you ever heard of Gary Vee or watched any of Gary Vee shit?
Uh-uh.
You should look him up. Just Google Gary Vee. His last name's not. It's a long ass like German name or whatever. But anyway, he says that passive income is a bullshit dream that rich people try to sell poor people to make money off poor people. There's no such thing as passive income. If you go into a situation thinking you're not going to have to put much effort into this, meaning, like you with the truck, you just buy the truck, you supply the truck, so you're going to make some money. It's usually a bullshit fucking lie. Like 99% of the time, it's a lie.
Yep.
There's really no such thing as passive income. You need to get the passive income thought out of your brain.
No, you're exactly right. And even stuff that I've seen here lately that's marketed as passive income, like those Shopify and drop shipping t-shirt companies and shit, you still got to take time to like design the shirts, get the ads out there, and then you got to go in and like, from what Autumn said, approve the order so that they actually charge the buyer and place the order with the manufacturer.
That's exactly right. It's not really passive at all. Just
Nah.
like you see these signs up, or you hear the commercials on the radio talking about come to our home seminar, we'll teach you how to flip houses.
Oh yeah.
That's bullshit. They're not teaching you how to flip houses. What they're doing is they're charging you $1,500 for a seat. They're filling your head full of bullshit and they're dipping because they're saying, you can make money in your spare time doing this shit. You really can. You can, but not like that. Not like the way they're explaining it. It's not gonna be in your spare time, go flip this house. It's gonna be a full-time thing, and you're gonna sink a lot of fucking money into doing the first 4 or 5 before you see any profit. Same thing with these dogs that I do. When we got into it, I was like, cool, it's kind of like a passive income, you know what I mean? Once, twice a year, we'll have a litter of puppies. But then what you don't see is your initial investment. This is my second litter. I'm still not clear any money.
Yeah,
and that money until my third litter.
Is that because basically because your first litter
didn't make it.
Yeah, because of the crappy dog food.
Yeah, essentially, we would have been clear some money on this litter had we had all those puppies lived. This litter would have been a clear litter. But you got to account for those things. I know an 18-year-old right now that's went out and busted his ass, and he's bought 4 or 5 of these dogs at, like I say, anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a piece. He bought them as puppies. You can't breed them until they're 1.5 years, 2 years old. So now he's just sitting on. He's got 4 or 5 dogs in his house that he's having to feed, take care of, and all this shit, and he can't get any money back on them. He went in with the mindset of just like I did. Well, this is going to be, easy to do. When righteously it's not.
Is the market down for that right now, or is it?
No, you can sell the dogs. There'll always be a market for dogs. We do have an issue right now of people getting like bullshit dogs that they're not really built right, or they're not quality dogs, and they'll sell the dogs for $500 or $600 to people that have the same mindset. Well, I can turn around and sell my puppies for $1,500. Well, you can't. There's no fucking way you can sell. You can take 2 $500 dogs and make a $2,000 dog puppy. All those puppies are gonna be worth $500 or less. A lot of those people end up just fucking giving dogs away.
Right. I know.
They just sell for a hustle.
My ex-brother-in-law, they bought a Yorkie. I can't remember how much he ended up giving for this dog, and I seen it for the first time. I was like, it's not a Yorkie, man. That's a fucking, animal shelter special.
Yeah.
And I want to say he gave like several $100s for that dog, which, I'm glad the dog got adopted, and got a good home. But, I feel bad for them that they paid like $500 for a dog they could have went to the shelter and got for free.
Exactly. That's what the thing is. People want to give us hell because we raise and breed dogs and they're shelter dogs. And I'm like, you're giving the wrong ones hell because we breed actual show quality dogs. Our dogs are not going outside on a fucking chain hooked to a tree. When we breed, our dogs stay inside. They probably eat better than most humans. And when we sell those dogs, they go to people that do the same shit we do. They plan on showing the dog. They want to have the best looking dog. You know what I mean? They want to create the best dog.
Yeah, I've seen some. Do what? Go ahead.
Where the people need to be directing their focus is these backyard ass breeders that don't vet their dogs at all. They got no papers, or the papers that they got are bogus, and they're breeding bullshit ass dogs, and those dogs end up in the pound because they can't get rid of them.
Yeah, and then you got. Are they even good quality dogs?
No, that's what I'm saying. They're bullshit ass dogs. Like you see my dogs, they're like muscled up, short, stocky, big ass head dogs. These dogs be lanky, fucking look like you took a greyhound and mixed it with a pit bull.
Yeah. Your dogs try to knock you down when you come in the house, and they're pretty good at it. They're heavy. They weigh more than I do.
They're pretty.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Man, I tell you what. 3.5% unemployment, man. That's a bitch. When you're trying to find people to work.
But it's good in ways, maybe not for you, but for people that do or did what I did, like building shit, and fixing houses. It's good for us because people have more money to put into shit because everybody's working.
That's true, and I was talking to some guys the other day about, because they would brainstorm ideas to go in business for themselves, but like the plans were great, like they were awesome ideas, but like my suggestion was, find a service or a product that's not going to set you out a lot of money, that you can really start turning a profit early, and then kind of work your way up from there.
Yep. This is my next plan is a hot wing restaurant, as you talked about earlier. It's a small investment. All you need is a couple of fryers and a building.
Yeah, you wouldn't even really need a building for, say. I know they had a couple of those taco trucks downtown, and like I know some of the brick and mortar restaurants were raising hell. Of course, this has been like 7 years ago, because since the taco trucks weren't like a brick and mortar building, they didn't have to have like business licenses and all that other nonsense that the actual restaurants did. They'd come and set up in the parking lot across the street and start slinging tacos for $5
and make a fucking killing.
Oh yeah, dude, they were. I know the Daily Bread downtown. I think they nearly went out because of that taco truck next door.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta, and like we don't have, in our town, we don't have anything like that, like a hot wing restaurant. We don't have that here. You can go to KFC or whatever and get those garbage ass hot wings, but they're not real hot wings.
No, I don't. Pizza Hut's not bad though. They got some pretty
garbage. Good. Would you rather have a hot wing from Buffalo Wild Wings or from Pizza Hut?
Well, that's a good point. Buffalo Wild Wings ain't bad at all. But there's a lot of those around.
Yeah, but not close to us.
No,
you're going 40 miles to go to B-Dubs from us.
Yeah, every bit of it. 40 minutes for sure.
That's real. People from Russellville aren't really trying to make that trip just because they want hot wings.
If you could get a truck or a one of those small like prefab buildings, you could probably just set that thing anywhere.
I thought about doing the food truck thing because you can get a up and running like food truck for like $10,000.
There's it's on River Road out towards Lawrence County, Colbert County line.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a little snow cone building, dude. It's not big at all. sitting right in front of the Saints Motorcycle Club. And I mean, it's just a little snow cone. I think they sell burgers and stuff like that. And dude, they were smashing business.
And that's all it takes. They probably got maybe $5,000 or $6,000 in getting set up and going.
Yeah, no, the building was tiny. It was not big at all. Like just big enough for the stoves, refrigerators, and enough room for the workers to prepare the food and shit. And that was it.
I had another thought. You know how you got these motherfuckers like DoorDash and shit that'll bring food out for you.
Yeah.
If you were a smart man, you had the free time to open up a company that would bring out not only like your fast food, but say, you wanted a cigar, you were out of cigars, or you were out of, if you're a beer drinker, you're out of beer, and you could just call a company and they would bring your beer, they would bring your cigars, they bring your cigarettes, they bring your groceries. You just send them what you need, Cash App them the money. You can transfer the Cash App over to the Apple Pay, and then you can go buy their shit, keep the rest of the money.
Well, you can do that with Facebook Marketplace, or each when you set up a business page, you can do a marketplace that all the money transactions go through Facebook.
Yeah,
but the problem
that would
is
be like a no investment startup.
Yeah,
You're putting out ads. Hey, I'll go get your shit. You can stay at the house.
the only problem would be if that for like cigar, some cigars are $5, some cigars are $7. Having to constantly adjust those prices.
You would just have to level it off.
Yeah.
The cigar might not have been the best example, but say you needed groceries, you send the list.
Yeah.
You can go to Walmart.com right now, enter that list, and pay for it over the phone and go pick it up. So you automatically know what the total is. Then you just charge them shipping and handling to go get their shit for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought about trying something like that with laundry.
With what?
Laundry.
Laundry?
Yeah.
It might work.
Like $35 a month will, give you like one wash a week or some bullshit.
Kind of like a dry cleaning business.
Yeah, except for I'm taking your shit to the laundromat, throwing it in the big giant tub,
and letting it spin.
Yep, letting it spin. You got $5. Well, it may cost more than $35 for 4 washes a month, but
yeah, you're gonna put 10 or 15 into that washing machine.
Yeah, well, I know out on the road at the hotels and stuff, you're looking at $5 for wash and $5 for dry. Unless you buy the shit yourself and have your own setup at the house.
Yeah.
Or have your own commercial facility set up.
There's a million different ways to get paid in a day, is what I always say.
Oh yeah. Who was it? I think it was MLD was talking about. There's money everywhere in the United States. You just got to figure out a way to get it.
Right. Like I'm about to start mastering 5 songs for a guy, and it'll be more than I make in a week at a day job.
Hell yeah. I was doing consults. I need to advertise those a little more for people because I had people there for a long time. Dude, they were calling me all the fucking time, asking about how to set up a trucking company and what they needed to do and this and that and this and that. One dude, man, did I tell you about the guy that talked to me like 2 hours a day for 2 weeks straight?
No.
Yeah, dude, he was calling like he wanted to be a driver first, and then he wanted to be a lease owner operator. And then by the time it was said and done, after I probably invested 12 hours in this motherfucker, he turned around and set up his own business as a direct competitor.
See, there's a guy that I know. This is music related, but he does consultations. He'll give you an hour for $150. The reason he can do that is because he's well connected, of course. But you could probably do the same shit with what you're doing. You might not be able to get the 150 from jump, but once you build a reputation, you could probably do it. He gives you 1 hour for $150, and he'll tell you your music is trash. Pretty much is what he's gonna do. But
Yeah, that's what I had a couple of guys call me after that, and they're like, "Hey, we want to talk about, hot shot business." I'm like, "Oh, awesome, man. $50. I'll tell you whatever you want to know for 1 hour." Well, like no handouts here, buddy. I gained all this knowledge and experience over 2 years, and it cost me a lot of money.
yup, can't give it away. You had to work for it.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. And that's why I've kind of come to the conclusion with leasing people on, where I tell people, yeah, you can come lease on if you want to, but it's going to cost you $1,000, $1,800 up front. And even when before, when I had the dispatchers out of Sheffield, they had a guy. They was like, "Hey, we got this guy that wants to lease on to you." I'm like, "Awesome, tell him $3,000." And they're like, "What? What do you mean $3,000?" I'm like, $3,000 up front, non-refundable.
And that's the way you should do it. Because I know many stories where your trailers have been left in fucking bumfucked Egypt and you've had to go get them. It's costed $2,000 to go there and back.
Yeah,
Not work you've missed, having to go get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, because if I just give somebody something like another guy, this guy, where was he from? But it was him and another guy. I don't know if they're related. But they were like in a partnership with some weird fucking company name. And one of them drove, and the other one just kind of collected a check. And they were both old as fuck, but they got on a slot. Didn't cost them nothing. This motherfucker might do $3,000 a week, and at the time, all the other trucks were doing between $4,500 and $5,500 a week. And I was like, "Hey, Thorntonberry, why the fuck are you so far behind?" Well, I had to do my what did he say? I had to do my 34-hour restart, and I had to drive home to do that, and and then I was down for 34 hours, and I was like, all right, so the dispatcher told me you sit for 24 hours, or no, it was actually more. It was like 26 or 27 hours waiting to get loaded because he got there at like an odd time or something. He's like, yeah, that happened. I said, so why wouldn't you wait 8 more hours, knock out your 34, and then you got a full 70-hour cycle to work off of? He's like, well, that would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? And I was like, after that, I'm like, you know what? You don't pay to get on my roster, you ain't fucking working for me.
Yeah, it's a waste of time and energy after a certain point.
Yeah, exactly, because that guy does not appreciate the money that was having to be put down for him to go to work.
No.
And back then it was about $3,000 a truck. The insurance rates are better now. It's about $1,800 a truck, but still, though, that's a lot. That for somebody not to have any appreciation for what it takes for them to actually go to work.
So for you to recoup that 3,000, how long would it take? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Let me hold on. No, fuck no, it took longer than that. Let's see.
So what I'm getting to is, did the guy even stay around long enough for you to make the recuperation?
No, he didn't. He didn't, because by the time insurance was paid, the break-even point was $3,600, and he rarely did over $3,600. So I actually probably lost money the entire time he was on my trucking roster.
See, that's why you shouldn't just let him into your truck for free. Because,
yeah.
It's bad for your business. At some point, you got to start looking out for the star. You ever watch Cat Williams? You got to start looking out for your star motherfucking player, and that's you.
Yeah.
You can't scratch everybody's back until they've proven worthy to have a back scratch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you got the lease on drivers. That's what I was gonna And a lot of trucking companies, even if you bring in your own truck and your own trailer, they'll make you do like an escrow, like $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever to pay off any expenses that you may have, if you leave. Which most of the time, most of that would go towards fuel. But like I was going to do, this insurance, which is a pretty good security deposit. That'd buy you, and then every year make them pay to renew that. But even with owner operators and like the company that I'm with now, their turnover rate's just so fucking high that it's ridiculous. Like, and like say like that truck, that guy canceled his lease. And I call the insurance company. I go, hey, cancel Thorntonberry slot because he don't work for us no more. It doesn't instantly hit your insurance. Like I would still have to pay for that slot for about 3 months until
the insurance goes there.
Well, the insurance, like when you buy commercial insurance, they finance it for a year through a finance company.
Yep.
And when the insurance company calls them and says, "Hey, we, cancel that. We got to, then they have to start a refund process for that slot that's prorated for how long that slot was used throughout the year. So until they get all that recalculated and the payment adjusted, I still have to make that continuing payment, which takes about 2 to 3 months.
It's the same way with my my business insurance. Like it's financed through a company. They insured me for X amount of money, but I have to pay that back every month. You know what I mean? Until it's paid for, and then I'm, officially insured. But it gradually increases also. Like they up me from whatever it was to like $400 a month. And I dropped them because I'm like, man, I just go somewhere else.
Now, is that based off? Is that based
out for a couple months?
Is that based off like the size of your operation or how many employees you got?
No, it was mainly based off of the work we did. With a general liability for a construction company, they base your insurance off the risk of what you're doing.
Mm.
Like if you're going to be higher than 2 stories, your insurance goes up. If you're going to be doing foundation work, like on existing houses, your insurance goes up. A bunch of factors can determine how much your general liability for your company is.
Yeah,
when you're doing construction, like if you're a new build, your insurance is higher because you got heavy machinery all around your guys. So the probability of something happening is greater.
That's about how commercial trucking insurance is. Obviously, the more trucks you have, the more your insurance is going to be. And even, believe it or not, these hotshot trucks are more expensive to insure sometimes than semis.
That's because you don't need a special license.
Well, there's 2 different classes, which, guys, I got some videos on my channel on YouTube that I talk about the different classes of hot shots. Check those out. But, yeah, and if the ones that you don't need commercial driver's license, which those are like starting to become highly unprofitable. But the trucking companies, dude, they were throwing any rando motherfucker with a heartbeat in those trucks and being like, "Hey, guy, you ever pulled a trailer?" And they're like, "Yeah, bro, I pulled my lawnmower trailer down to my Meemaws and cut my grass." Great. Here's your keys. Here's your fuel card. Here's your first rate con. Call us if you need us. Matter of fact, don't call us. And dude, these dudes were going through weigh stations and getting fucking destroyed. And that just directly impacts the trucking company's safety scale or safety ratings. And then your insurance rates go up.
Yeah.
Which, that's kind of what happened to me. I had a dispatcher that I thought knew what he was doing, and then turns out that he didn't know what he was doing. And he was like having drivers unplug ELDs, running them over their logbooks, just not wanting to maintain the trucks, and dude, all that shit just negatively impacts your insurance rates.
Not to mention if your drivers get caught running with their shit unplugged.
Oh, they did. They did. And it was nasty. They got, they'd get shut down and tuned up by the troopers. And it was just, dude. And, that was one thing that took me a little while to learn is that you can't start a business and not be involved in it. You have to be, hands on. You have to oversee daily operations. I mean, you have to be very, very into that shit.
Even being hands on, like, with my business, I'm there every day. I'm talking to every customer. I'm, shit's still gonna go haywire. It don't matter what you do. It's always gonna go haywire. There's always that one variable that'll go wrong. It don't matter what it is, whether it be a person or a thing. It'll always go haywire. You can leave the house full in a trailer and rack up 5 tickets over something minuscule like a busted fucking taillight.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Your truck can go rolling down a hill somewhere.
Yeah, dude. Whew, goddamn, the liabilities. But shit, man, we've been at it for about an hour. Hell, I think
supper.
Yeah. Hell, I appreciate you coming on the show, and hell, come back again. Do another episode of Privateer and Friends. Where can the viewers find you at?
Music wise, you can find me at Ghost Music 25 Sticks. Anywhere and everywhere. Go stream all my shit. I need more views. Run up my money. That's all. Shit. That's all.
Well, shit, I appreciate you coming out, man. You guys take it easy.
All right, brother B.